Okay, so today we got something I've never worked on before, a cut saw. I don't even think I've ever held one of these, but it's got a 2-cycle engine, so it shouldn't be any different. And this is one of the customer, he's got several pieces of equipment, the customer does, that he wants to sell, so he's trying to get them fixed up. Apparently he retired from, I guess, a construction job, I don't know. And he wanted to sell everything, but he's left gasoline in it. Everything he's brought over has carburetor issues. In this case, he says this one just needs a spark plug wire. But as soon as I checked it, it had gasoline in the gas tank, so that told me he's going to have carburetor issues, because when you leave gasoline in it, it fouls up the carburetor. So this machine, firefighters use, you can use it to cut metal and concrete, depending on what kind of blade you got. Glass, I think, is something they've said that you can cut with it. I don't know. It looks like we're going to take off this cover and the flywheel cover, because that's where the ignition coil is. The ignition coil is what the spark plug wire is going to drive off of. Okay, this is why I like working on still. It looks like the linkage just pops right off. You don't have to take the handle off or anything. So here you can see the spark plug wire. Okay, and there's the ignition coil right there. Okay, and so here's the shutoff wire. The shutoff wire runs over to the shutoff switch. Now I've got a new shutoff wire, but it doesn't look the same, and I'm afraid to disconnect this one at risk of breaking it. So since there is no damage to it, I'm going to leave this one on. If it doesn't work, then I'll replace it after we check for spark. Okay, so I'm going to put the new one on top of the old one and see if it looks similar. Looks like it to me. Okay, so I got the new one in, and I just put the screws in. I mean, they're really loose. So now I'm going to put the flywheel up to the tip of the ignition coil, and then we'll put a 10 thousandths feeler gauge in between the two. Press that up there against that, and then we'll tighten it. And then we'll put the shut-off wire on it. Alright, so I'm going to put a new spark plug on it, and so we're going to gap it at 26. I looked it up. This one's 26 to 30 thousandths. So 26 needs to go in, 30 should not. And then we're going to test for spark. We'll put it in the boot. Okay, so I'm going to use my drill to turn over the engine as I check for spark. So I've got the drill. On the half-inch bolt on the flywheel, and I can turn it over, and we'll hold this up to ground it against the machine. You probably won't see it because it's daylight, but there's a pretty little spark there. So we'll put the spark plug into the spark plug hole. It started. I had to unfortunately learn how to start this one. It's got this automatic decompression valve, so I wasn't sure how that operated, so I had to Google that. But you push it in and you start it, you put it on choke and you pull it until it starts. It'll start. When it starts, the decompression valve pops out. Well, I wasn't aware of that. So when you try to start it again, the choke, it kind of, and then you put it on half choke. Well, you got to pull that out again. Otherwise, you're not getting any compression. So I actually thought the engine was shot because it wasn't getting any compression. But again, once you get it to start, that pops back out and it's got all the compression you need. So that's what they do on these professional models. Like I said, I've never ran one of these, so that's interesting. So I'll get this button back up and I'll put a new air filter on it and give the customer a call. Okay, so other than trying to figure out how to start it, that was a pretty simple job. I like simple jobs. Makes my life easier. So if you'll click this up next box, it'll take you to something I was working on. So hope I can inspire you. Have an easy day when you're living your dreams. Thanks for watching.